Movies, TV, sports, flicks. Movies, TV, sports, flicks. Movies, TV, sports, flicks.
The Captain Talk Flicks.
Movies, TV, sports, flicks. Movies, TV, sports, flicks. Movies, TV, sports, flicks.
The Captain Talk Flicks.
Welcome to the Captain Talks Flicks podcast. I'm your host, the Captain Cortez, aka Mr. Love, and this is where we talk flicks. All right, welcome to the podcast where me, the Captain, talks about movies, TV, sports, flicks, anything you see on the tube or screen. I like to get in and give my unique perspective, because after 46 years of being on planet Earth, I've developed a unique perspective about these movies, TV, sports, and flicks. I'd get to tell you about it, because just maybe you care. And according to the stats, looks like you do care. I want to give a big shout out to Chile. Got some plays over in Chile this past week. Gracias, gratitude, todo raba, in Chile. I was at the grocery store this week and I was shopping and looking at the fruit. I'm like, bro, this fruit is straight out of Chile. Quite a bit of fruit at the grocery store, straight out of Chile. So I'm eating your fruit, and your fruit is absolutely fantastic. You guys got great fruit right at my grocery store. It's so awesome. So anyways, thanks for listening. Appreciate it. Gracias. It's just FYI. Back in the day, went to school to be a radio DJ, but never got a job. I think I never got a job because I didn't believe in myself. If I just would have believed in myself, maybe I would have pursued becoming a radio DJ, but I didn't. I never got a job. But that allowed me to become the greatest podcaster in the Matrix. Some to debate might be true, might not be true, but I said it on the internet, so it's gotta be true, right? Because everything on the internet is facts, not facts, true, false, fake news, propaganda, the Matrix, the Truman Show, Transformers More Than Meets the Eye, G.I. Joe, I Love Lucy, Barnum and Bailey Circus. I don't know, I didn't make the internet. Ask the people that made the internet. But when you're online, just be aware, just watch out. Anyways, I can ramble here all day, but I won't. Let's get right into the podcast. But first, a word from our sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, I like to live by a few quotes. A few quotes I live by. One of the quotes I live by is, evolve, not devolve. I feel every day on planet Earth, I'm aiming to evolve and not devolve. And I mean grow, get better, improve. Evolve. Not go backwards, not get worse. Not get worse, get better, evolve, right? So it's one of my tags, one of my sayings, bro. Evolve, not devolve. So if you like that saying, we got a shirt for you over the Existing Fictions House store that says evolve, not devolve. So I'll put a link below, check it out. Now let's get on with the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I am back again. Unbelievable. 455. We just had our birthday last week. 8 years in the game podcasting. Unbelievable. 8 years of me just talking to this microphone. Unbelievable. And people listen. It's craziness. If I could have told my younger self a decade ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, like, bro, when you get older, you're going to do something called a podcast. You're going to talk into a microphone. You'll put it on the internet. And people will listen to it. Like, what are you talking about? That don't make any kind of sense. No one's gonna listen to you talk. Apparently some people do, and I appreciate that greatly. Thank you very much. It's fun just exploring all these interesting ideas, concepts, exploring it through art, exploring it through videos, through fights, through television, movies. Just to go deep into our mind and our psyche and explore these ideas. Because a lot of times when you watch TV, what you're seeing is yourself. I've talked about that before. A lot of times, your mind projects onto these TV characters, onto these TV shows. So when you see these shows, you're really seeing yourself. You're able to go deep inside your mind. And talk about going deep inside the mind. Today, we're going deep into my mind. I'm going to tell you a few things that I experienced in the last couple weeks. Let's go deep. Ready to go deep? We're going deep like a Navy SEAL. Let's go deep. So one of the things I observed this week is that over the last probably 2 months, I have been watching something I hadn't watched previously. And on this show that I just started watching regularly, I watch this regularly, and I hadn't watched before, is there's a certain type of individual, ladies actually, and they look and appear a certain way. Generally, when I watch TV over the last few years, I've not really seen ladies that look like this kind of look, this kind of vibe, right? I didn't see them. And generally, in walking around on planet Earth, when I see ladies in the world and look at them in an interesting way, like, oh, she's like kind of interesting and sparking my fancy, and I'm kind of interested, kind of like, oh, she's very nice to look at, or she's just something about her is attracting my eyeballs, right? So prior to the last 2 months, when I would see this type of lady out in the world, out in the matrix, I generally would pay no attention, right? Now what's interesting is that in the last 2 months, I've seen this type of individual, vibe lady, quite a bit. And now when I'm in the real world, all of a sudden, I'm more interested. Yeah, more interested. So I was like, wait, how did that happen? What is happening here? Why is that happening? What's going on here? I know the answer to it already. I've talked about it many times on these podcasts, but it's just proof of concept. I've said over and over again on these podcasts, multiple times, that what we watch on the tube, what we feed our brain, is basically programming our mind. I don't know how many times I've said it. I've said it a million times. And I got to see the proof of that in action in the last few weeks. I started watching something new, and in this new show, I'm seeing a lady that I don't normally see in a certain vibe, a certain way. And now I've been watching so long, when I go out in the public in the real space, and I see people that look, or ladies that look like this kind of style vibe, my eyeballs are drawn and I'm attracted, right? There's nothing changed about me with the exception that I started watching this programming. It just shows you, bro, like I said a minute ago, what you watch, putting your eyeballs on a repetitive, regular basis will influence you. I like to think I'm a little more knowledgeable and not as easily influenced. But if you repetitively keep consuming the same thing over and over again, it's gonna have an effect. And I just experienced that this past week. And that's for anything that you repetitively pump in your brain, right? How many times you listen to a song over and over again, and it may be back in the day, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, and you can recite those lyrics on command, right? On command, you can recite those lyrics on command. There are songs from when I was 8 years old that I listened to over and over again. And after like 20 some years or 25 years, or whatever amount of years, but 30 years, whatever years it's been, I still know those lyrics like by heart because I listened to them over and over so much. That's how it works. That's the game, bro. That is the game. So now in 2022, if you have an awareness of this, if you are aware of this and know this, then you need to really pay attention to what you program your mind with. What are you watching? I talk about this all the time. What are you watching? What are you looking at? Because it is shaping your mind all the time. And the more you consume and watch something repetitive, the more it shapes your brain. At least that's my theory. And I just experienced it. I'm looking at ladies I would never look at because I've been consuming this certain programming that is kind of sitting in my brain. And now I'm like, oh, wow, look at her. I never would have noticed before. So that being said, like I said, really think and ponder, what is it I'm trying to accomplish? What is it I'm trying to achieve? And select the appropriate programming for that. YouTube videos, TV shows, sports, whatever you're into. I don't know what your goal in life is or where you want to be at, in the future, or what you're trying to attain, or what you want to do, or whatever. It's different for everybody. But whatever that is, use the program, the TV shows, the movies, all these things to shape and hone that path to reach that, right? I've been aware of this for a long time, and I've been doing this. Now, what just happened recently, I didn't plan on that. It's just kind of a byproduct of me consuming this particular medium. The media that I'm consuming, the ladies in it, just look in that vibe and that way, and I generally don't see them a lot. And now I see them quite a bit. And now I'm in the real world, I'm like, hey, I'm kind of interested. Very interesting how that works. So anyways, yeah, that's all I'm going to talk about. He's like, programming. The programming is real. So since we know the programming is real, choose wisely. Choose the programs wisely. Really be aware of this. Because if you really pay attention, you will experience what I just experienced. You'll be like, oh, yeah, it's working, right? Even another thing too, like even your word choices, what you speak, the language you choose to use will definitely be affected. What kind of words are the people using at the shows you watch, the YouTube videos you watch, the TV shows, the sports? What kind of language are you using? If you watch it for long periods of time, repetitively, that language will start to seep deep into your own language. So choose wisely. How do you want to talk? How do you want to communicate? What kind of ideas do you want to think about? It's all there. It's all you, bro. You can be your ultimate program in your own mind. Because I'll tell you what, you may think you are not getting programmed, and maybe you think you're beyond and above that, and you're not. You're not. That's not true. Everybody is. I'm aware of it, and I know it, but I'm still getting programmed no matter what. No matter what I do, I will be programmed. There's no way around. There's no escaping it. So let's watch TV programs, right? Let's keep watching them. But let's be more selective on the program we watch. Let's program our own mind. We're Neo in the Matrix programming our own mind. I'm going to learn Kung Fu. So yeah, that's all I want to talk about. It's been the running theme of these podcasts for a long time. It's just, what we watch shapes our brain, shapes our mind. So shape it well. So anyways, that's all I want to talk about this week. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. And until next time, we'll see. One may walk over the highest mountain one step at a time. John Wanamaker. Until next time, it's Captain Peace.
The Captain Talks Flicks.